So Tom Selleck's got a small part in the picture. I was looking for someone who could help us facilitate both our liaison with the Navy Department and all of their equipment that we required, and who knew his way through the bureaucracy. And they recommended Admiral Stream. He was wonderful and very useful and served as a technical advisor. He had flown in carrier battles all through World War II when he was a young officer and had experienced all of that. And so he was able to give us a lot of technical help and help in getting all of the naval pieces together so that we could get our film made. At the time that we were shooting that film, the Lexington was still being used by the Navy Department in the Gulf of Mexico. And the naval trainees would practice landings and takeoffs on the carrier decks.
We were literally at sea for about 2 weeks. And the interesting point in there is that when I got on board, they said, well, we're going to put you with the ship's lawyer. That'll be your quarters. I said, oh, wonderful. And the ship's lawyer's quarters were right at the end of the runway. And so every time that catapult went and the ship took off, it was like that. I didn't sleep for about 10 days.
The first shooting on the film was out of Pensacola on the Lexington. And it was a very interesting experience. We all got to fly. And you're flying around up there, and then they say, well, we'll go back down. And you look down, and you see a little object about the size of your forefinger. And you say, we're going to land on that? And they say, yeah, that's it. Of course you do, and it's beautifully done. But it was a very interesting experience for all of us, especially for me, who'd been in aircraft in the war.
One interesting thing about the young men that were on board the Lexington, I needed a lot of extras, of course, and I wanted to use the real sailors. But in the 70s, the longer hair and the whole thing, so I had to have them shave their heads, but nobody wanted to do that. So what I did, I staged a scene with young Eddie Albert and Charlton Heston, and they both had the very short clipped hair. And it was quite a dynamic scene, and all of the sailors were standing around watching it. And when they got through, they all sort of walked away. And the next day, 200 of them wanted to get their heads shaved to be extras. So they were quite impressed when they saw a scene being shot, and then they all wanted to be in it.